You're listening to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
This is Kaylee from Meraki & Company, Wedding and Event Styling. I got engaged in 2020, and I knew I wanted to kind of DIY most aspects of my wedding since I had the capability to do that. Well, we decided on our color palette. That was like a tough decision for us. And then we picked these two fonts, and we were like, we're using these elements for everything. We love how this is. Why would we switch it up? Let's just be consistent.
Right.
So I designed our invitation for our engagement party.
Yeah.
And then I started kind of making other things like the proposal boxes for my bridesmaids and stuff. And, I was shopping on Etsy and I was shopping through all these different companies, and I didn't have the ability to choose the same font, and it wasn't the same shade of navy, and it wasn't, all these little tiny details drove me crazy because they were all slightly different. So I did the PJs for the morning up for my girls, and I picked like this scripty font to have them embroidered in, but it wasn't the same font as my invitation and everything else that I was doing. And I was like, why isn't there one place that brides can go to to just achieve a look across whatever the products or details that they need or want for their day? There's nowhere to do that.
Welcome to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
A simple warning. We know many of you are planning a wedding right now. We may be tempted to drop an F-bomb or other descriptive words. Keep this in mind if you have small children in the room or are on a Zoom call. You've been warned.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
Let's be honest, planning a wedding is tricky. And at Be Engaged and Inspired, we'll share our knowledge to help you navigate these tricky waters and leaving you feeling inspired.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast is sponsored by EasyEventPlanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. EasyEventPlanning.com. And now your hosts, Kia and DJ Sam.
Welcome to the Be Engaged and Inspired the Wedding Podcast, where the classics are good. Good enough is bad, and bad is about as good as you could possibly get. My name is DJ Sam from Atmosphere Productions, and the lovely lady ignoring me over here.
I'm Kia from Engaged, Connecticut. Okay, Sam, am I going to start with the non-inspirational, or you're going to start with the inspirational?
Well, after you've heard who does this quote, you might want to...
Okay, I'll go after.
Oh, you want to go after?
I'll go second. You go first.
My inspirational quote, and of course the inspirational quote, is to bring folks up, because we are the Be Engaged and Inspired the Wedding Podcast. And the quote of today is, it is time for us to do what we've been doing, and that time is every day. You know who said that?
Nope.
Our Vice President, Kamala Harris.
Oh, that's very cool. And this is going to be horrible.
I told you.
Because my Don't for Wives from my 1913 book says, don't give your husband stale bread if he prefers it new, nor new bread if he produces indigestion. Exercise a little thought in the matter of what you serve your husband.
And again, this book is from where?
1913.
And
Don't for Wives.
This was for a wife who just got married. Mm-hmm. They were handed the book.
This is like a little tiny book that fits into, because girls can't have real pockets, so that's exactly the size that it could fit into.
And the wife would have to refer to this book on a daily basis, I'm assuming.
Some of them did, and clearly Kamala Harris did not, which is good. So, okay, so it's Wednesday. Do you have a wedding tip Wednesday for us?
Definitely. Go to the Be Engaged and Inspired Facebook group page and join us free.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is brought to you by Emerge Cosmetics. Are you ready to emerge? A new line of luxurious lipsticks and lip glosses created with the intention of empowerment and coming into who you truly are. Strong, beautiful, and confident. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast coupon code EBI10 at shopemergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% discount. That's coupon code EBI10 for 10% discount at shopemergecosmetics.com. Emerge as the true you.
You're listening to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
Now syndicated on the Wedding Talk channel on YouShook.com radio network, America's radio station.
Today's Wedding Tip Wednesday is break the mold and do the first look.
I agree.
That's it. I'm going home. Bye. Lots of couples are opting for tradition and taking advantage of the first look photos. You'll have plenty of time for photographs prior to the ceremony, thus saving more time to party during the reception and leaving the couple time to enjoy their cocktail hour.
The only problem with that is that you have to be ready sooner, which...
There's no problem with that. I can always be ready sooner.
Yes. Okay. Well, we have a special guest today. Would you like to introduce them, since I feel like this is very important?
Yes.
Near and dear to you.
Yes, I will. We have Kaylee Powers. And have you ever thought of being a DJ?
No, I haven't.
Because that's a great DJ name, you know. Kaylee Powers.
I feel like
think
there's somebody else in that industry that already has that last name,
no,
Powers.
there's absolutely nobody. Nobody even sounds close to that great last name. And Kaylee, your company is?
My company is Meraki and Company, wedding and event styling.
And why don't we do the social media now?
Yes. So how do people find you online?
All of my social media pages, so Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are all at meraki.co.styling.
Could you spell that for the person
please.
who doesn't know what they're spelling?
Absolutely. It's meraki.co.styling.
I was looking at your website, and I love the way you work so fast.
Thank you.
Have you noticed in those videos?
Yeah.
You work so fast. How on earth do you get so many jobs if you work that fast?
If only it took a minute to complete all those things, I would be...
Oh, so it's a little trick photography?
Yes, it's time lapse,
darn it.
unfortunately. I know. Unfortunately. If I
we
could
could
work
all do that.
quick.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that, too.
It's like, I'll just push this button and
Yeah.
boom, it's done.
Yeah.
Yes.
60 whole seconds.
So what caused you to start this company?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I went to school for design, so I got my undergrad degree in graphic and digital design, and then I got my master's degree in user experience design. So that is kind of something a lot of people aren't really aware of, but it's kind of taking a problem or looking at something and making it more user-friendly for the customer or user. So I have like a huge problem solving mindset, and I think I just kind of always think that way. So over the years I've always loved to craft and like paint, and I would do little like odd jobs for people. I painted wine glasses and sold them for the poor in the Dominican Republic for the last like 10 years.
Nice.
So that's been like a huge part of my life that kind of helped me get into like a business mindset. And I've always said, like, if there was some way I could paint for a living or do something like this, I would be so happy, but it's not profitable. It's just,
Yeah, you don't want to be a starving artist.
Right, exactly. And
Artists are only cool after they're dead. So
exactly. It's so true. It's so true. So, I went to school, I got my degrees, and I got engaged in 2020, and I knew I wanted to kind of DIY most aspects of my wedding since I had the capability to do that.
Wedding planner, that just hurt. But it only hurt. But you actually are coming at it from a logical mindset. It is not like you're watching a DIY show or you're on Pinterest saying, I think I can do that.
Right.
And then halfway through it, we get the call that says, oh shit, it doesn't work. So you fix it.
Right. Exactly.
You are already fixing it.
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
perfect.
So my fiance is also like super into design, and he's a landscape architect. So we both have like, we love details and appreciate that kind of stuff. So we kind of knew right off the bat we wanted to establish a look and kind of carry that through as many details as we possibly could.
Could we know what the look is?
Sure. We decided on our color palette. That was like a tough decision for us, but once we did, we went with this kind of navy and like a sage. We loved this eucalyptus look with like greenery, and then we picked these two fonts, and we were like, we're using these elements for everything. Like, we love how this is. Why would we switch it up? Like, let's just be consistent.
Right.
So I designed our invitation for our engagement party, and because I had the programs to do it and the capability to make everything look the same, I was like, this would be so hard if I wasn't a designer.
Yeah.
And then I started kind of making other things like the proposal boxes for my bridesmaids and stuff. And, I was shopping on Etsy, and I was shopping through all these different companies, and I didn't have the ability to choose the same font, and it wasn't the same shade of navy, and it wasn't, all these little tiny details drove me crazy because they were all slightly different.
Because the thing is, what people don't realize is like what the navy color on my phone looks like might look different on your phone.
Yep.
Yes.
That font, the amount of times I've had people say, this is close enough to the font.
Yeah.
But for the person who is paying attention to those details, it's like it's like blinking
Glaring.
on the, on your invitation going like, oh, like that's not.
Right. So I did the PJs for the morning up for my girls, and I picked like this scripty font to have them embroidered in, but it wasn't the same font as my invitation and everything else that I was doing. And I was able to use the font from my invitation on my Cricut, on my proposal boxes for my girls. So it was the same, and it looked so nice when they were next to each other. And I was like, why isn't there one place that brides can go to to just achieve a look across whatever the products or details that they need or want for their day? There's nowhere to do that. So I was like, I'm going to
Good.
Be that person.
Right.
And I think a lot of times brides think, oh, this is like, I'll shop around because I'm going to find something better. But then you've purchased something that you don't actually want.
Yep.
It doesn't actually fit with your needs. And maybe everybody wouldn't notice, but you're going to notice it in every single photo.
Exactly.
Everything for the rest of your life, you'll be like, I should have paid extra for those PJs.
Yep.
Like that $5 per PJ would have, I would have been more content.
Exactly. And it's just that in itself, like the convenience factor. If you're buying, hangers from one shop and then PJs from another, your invitations from a totally separate company, it's all these different companies or shops all over the country shipping from all different places at all different times.
Yep.
And you have to contact all these people, and sometimes it's like it's just
exhausting.
extra overwhelming.
Yes.
And it's like,
Yes.
why do we have to
do
as a
that.
bride,
Yep.
I was just like, why is this
Hey,
not more
Sam,
simple?
Yes.
you know why she would order hangers? Like, what's the hanger going to do?
To put for her dress.
Yeah, but why is she ordering a hanger instead of going into like a closet
That's a
and getting
good
one?
question. That's what I would do. I'd just go to my closet and get a hanger and stick it up there.
Okay, would you like to explain what's on the hangers?
Please.
Absolutely. Yes, they're all custom products, so they're like engraved, so it'll say Kaylee Bride or Mary Bridesmaid or
Yeah,
whatever.
but you know who they are.
But
Why
the
do you need
point
to-
is that because when their dress is hanging on it, so let's just say that you had different dresses but the same color all the way
Yes.
through, you could hang them all up, and when you look back at that photo in your album, you're going to know who everybody is, and it's going to match the font. It's going to match those things.
That's why I'm not a wedding planner.
Yeah, and that's why you have a wife. We're aware. So that process in this thing. So like you were saying, like you said, you were on Etsy. Where else were you looking where everybody always tends to look? Like,
yeah, Etsy, Pinterest. I found a lot of different companies that like specialized in their one product. So, for example, my invitation that I did design for our engagement party was on a piece of acrylic.
Yep.
And I found a company that printed on acrylic, and they did them beautifully. But I was like, if I just had a machine to do that myself,
Yeah.
I could.
That'd be much easier, wouldn't it?
Right. So it kind of was like a combination of all those things. So I was finding all these different people that specialized in the one area and did it beautifully. But I was like, why isn't there one place and one person that can kind of just take that look and achieve all those details for the convenience
Yep.
of the bride or the client in general?
I mean, because I think one of the things is like all of that machinery that you do need to be able to do it. You also have to know how to use all of it, because
Yes.
it's not just like you put an image in and you're like, ta-da!
Yep.
So it's all good. So we're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some more of the struggles of finding the things that you wanted.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast will be right back.
Lauren Simpson from Emerge Cosmetics here. I've got some exciting news. We've released 2 new mascaras and have a special discount code just for you awesome listeners. The first 20 people to use code LASH20 get 20% off of your mascara purchase. Go to shopemergecosmetics.com to redeem. That's LASH20 at shopemergecosmetics.com. Enjoy.
Hey, Sam, when it comes to finding the right professional vendor, it can seem overwhelming to know where to start.
It can, Kia, unless you use easyeventplanning.com, because they'll find perfect vendors for your event within your budget and deliver them right to your inbox. You can search through over 28 categories of party and wedding services. Get the details you need to narrow down your choices quickly with their category-specific profiles. Chat with vendors via text, audio, or video from any device.
EasyEventPlanning.com will make planning your wedding or event easy, from their extensive vendor directory to their free tips on favors, decorations, themes, and more. Contact them today at EasyEventPlanning.com.
Meraki and Company Wedding and Event Styling. You give us your ideas and we'll do the rest. Hi, I'm Kaylee from Meraki and Company Wedding and Event Styling. I offer a cohesive and personalized design experience that will bring the look of your dreams to life. From custom signage to wax seals, stationery, and balloon garlands, I can create exactly what you're looking for. Available for your engagement party, bachelorette, or wedding day. Visit Meraki and Company Wedding and Event Styling at MERAKICOSTYLING.com or call or text 860-770-9587. That's 860-770-9587.
When your wedding entertainment has to have amazing music, be fun, organized, and professional, your choice has to be Atmosphere Productions. DJs, live musicians, custom lighting, and photo booths, as seen on the TLC TV series Series 4 Weddings, winner of the Wedding Wire Couples Choice Award and DJ Times DJ of the Month. Experience the difference. www.atmosphere-productions.com. That's www.atmosphere-productions.com.
Engaged Connecticut is a one-of-a-kind wedding business. We offer a selection of wedding venues along with planning and design services. Hire a wedding planner for your dream backyard, ballroom, or vineyard wedding, and many more. We have numerous creative wedding venues that offer you the opportunity to plan your wedding the way you envision. Find us at engagedct.com, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok Engaged Connecticut.
Destination Weddings Unlimited is your destination wedding and honeymoon specialist worldwide. Call us at 844-666-6872. Online at destinationweddingsunlimited.com. Allow us to take the stress and time off your plate so you can have an amazing experience. We're able to walk you through the process and handle all the travel and coordination needs. Destination Weddings Unlimited, online at destinationweddingsunlimited.com.
Emerge Cosmetics. Are you ready to emerge?
I bought this lipstick after my wedding trial with Lauren and instantly fell in love with it. It is smooth and creamy and the color is beautiful.
This is Lauren Simpson from Emerge Cosmetics, a professional makeup artist with over a decade of experience in the beauty industry. That's the reaction we're getting from our new line of carefully curated lip products that wear well and feel comfortable. These are a must-have for your collection. All products are made in the USA, cruelty-free, gluten-free, and most are vegan. Shop emergecosmetics.com for lipsticks and lip glosses that not only feel great, but last for hours in an array of different colors. Free shipping on orders over $100. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast coupon code EBI10 at shopemergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% discount. That's coupon code EBI10 for 10% discount at shopemergecosmetics.com. Emerge as the true you.
Everyone is talking about the DJ Pauly Show on YouShook.com.
Hi, everyone. This is Keith Urban, and you're listening to the number one DJ on the planet, DJ Pauly.
What's going on, everybody? This is Charles,
Hillary,
and Dave, and we are
Lady Antebellum.
And you're listening to the number one DJ on the internet. It's DJ Pauly, y'all.
Hey, y'all. I'm Kelsey Ballerini, and you're listening to the number one DJ on the internet. It's DJ Pauly, y'all.
The DJ Pauly Show on YouShook.com. We dare to be different. Join us and see for yourselves.
On next week's episode of the Be Engaged and Inspired the Wedding podcast, join DJ Sam and Kia as we talk about
the coolest things we've seen at weddings and that are sort of upcoming in the next season.
Wow, I can't wait.
Yep.
Right here on the Be Engaged and Inspired the Wedding podcast, now syndicated on the Wedding Talk channel on YouShook.com, America's radio station.
Now back to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast, sponsored by EasyEventPlanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. EasyEventPlanning.com. With your hosts, Kia and DJ Sam.
Welcome back to the Be Engaged and Inspired the Wedding podcast. DJ Sam with Kia, and we're talking with Kaylee Powers, and she's just about ready to tell us how she went from planning her wedding to starting her company. Am I right?
Well, it's the process of it, because she's still planning her wedding right now.
Well,
she's not married yet.
This is true.
Don't rush this process. Her dad is in the room. I mean, that's just stressful enough. So just, whew.
How did the transition happen?
So I started designing lots of elements for my own wedding and realized this is something I could do for other people and kind of take away that stress or the weight off their shoulders, and I would be so happy doing it every day. It's my passion. So I kind of decided to take the leap of faith and go for it, and it took a lot of time, and I realized I spent a lot of time on a few really important details, but I'm glad that I took the time to do what I did, because I feel like I really flushed out that whole process, and I thought every piece of it through. So I spent a lot of time on the name. I wanted it to be unique, something different that people were kind of intrigued by, and I wanted it to be meaningful and kind of showcase why I feel like I was born to do this. So
right, so it wasn't Friday you said, let me start a business, and then Monday you were fully into this.
No, absolutely not.
And then Tuesday you're out of business.
Exactly.
Right. I wanted to really flesh all the problem solving out and not have a client and have them ask me a question where I'm unprepared. Mm-hmm. I wanted to really make sure it was all situated. So,
but being a bride yourself, you're also aware of that. Plus, you do come from a family of a wedding vendor, so I think you have a lot more understanding than I think some people do about this process. It's not,
very true. Very true.
Can we mention
No.
who she's related to. Okay,
so
fine.
Yes, I am very lucky to have the connections that I do. I even have some clients right now because of those connections. Like, I have brides that I don't even know. So I'm very lucky for those.
And what are these brides asking for?
That's a great question. They're all a little different. They all have different needs. They're all kind of at different stages of their planning. So some come to me with their invitation is completely done and they're like, we love this look. We want to go with this and kind of continue it forward. Can you help us with table numbers, place card settings, welcome signage, any kind of stuff like that, signature drink signs, anything from that to I have these crazy backdrop walls with balloon garlands. So everybody's a little different, and that's what I kind of love because it's a different situation every time I have a new client. So
right, and I read on your website that everything is ubiquitous all the way across all your designs. So if a bride like you wanted those letters, the fonts, all across everything that she does, you can now do that.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I struggled with. I was like, you can find similar, like you were kind of saying. There's similar stuff out there, but there's nowhere you can be like, this is the font and it's going to be used across everything.
And it's guaranteed.
Right.
Yes.
Because that's the thing is, I can, like I said, I can go on Etsy, I can find 8 different companies that do a great job of what they're doing.
Yep.
But when it arrives, I know that my brain would look at it and be like, oh,
that's not the same, right?
Like, it's not the same. Sam would be like, whatever.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Right. And some people, like you said, don't care about that necessarily. And there's plenty of clients that I've had that have just kind of been like, oh, no, I'm not actually crazy about that. I would rather do this. And it's not the same at all. But that's fine. If you come to me and you just need one thing last minute and you're struggling, I can do that for you. I don't need to have the whole, shebang. But if you come to me and you want to establish this look right off the bat and kind of not have to worry about anything moving forward, I can do that for you.
The nice thing too, which I don't think people think about, is when you're going onto Etsy and some of these other sites, I mean, there are artists themselves, they do a great job, but you also don't have the ability to say, are you going to be able to meet my deadline?
Oh, yes.
Will this be shipped in time? And if it's shipped in time and it arrives and it's broken or it is not what you thought it was going to be,
how are you going to reorder it?
You don't necessarily have the time to fix that issue. This is why I always say to my couples, if you have an issue, please just text me because I can fix it way better weeks ahead of the time. 48 hours, 24 hours to go, I can fix it, but it might be duct tape and a zip tie. It will not be what it would be if I was given the advance notice.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So here, you being stationed in Connecticut.
Yep.
Do you serve Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts?
Yep, anywhere. So that's the beauty of it. I actually have a client in Indiana. I can ship anywhere, and it's nice to have that option too. So I'm not limited to just New England or just Connecticut.
For anybody who's in Connecticut, it is a key factor if all of a sudden you're getting closer to your wedding date and you're like, ew, we forgot to do our table numbers, or we just saw what our venue has for table numbers and they're hideous.
Right.
Signage, some of that stuff. Everybody has. There's always the classic normal signs, but if you want to put a personal touch onto it, or have a little image of your puppy or your kitty cat or something.
Imagine the same font on your invitation. This is now the same font for the numbers on the tables.
Exactly.
That's great.
It's cohesive, Sam.
Cohesive, united.
Yeah.
All right.
So once again, how do people find you online?
You can go to my website. It's www.merakicoststyling.com. It's merakicostylling.com.
And what does Meraki mean?
So yes, I finally found my word, my name that I was so tied to. I actually was going to Greece with my fiance 2 days later, and I was so stuck on this name. It was driving me crazy. I wanted it to be different and meaningful, and I couldn't find any English word that was kind of doing that for me. So I was like, let me look up some Greek words. And I stumbled across Meraki, and it means to do something with creativity, soul, and love, and to put yourself into your work. And immediately a tear came to my eye because I was like, that's what I do.
Yep.
Whatever I'm making for anybody gets 150% of my undivided attention until it's complete. That's what I wanted the premise of my company to be. I'm here to do that. My soul is in, whether it's a place card or a backdrop wall, it doesn't matter how big or small.
One of the great things about being a business owner, when you strike gold, you strike gold. And you just know it.
Yeah.
And you have to run with it. And that's exactly what you do.
And you need somebody in this type of business who's invested in their clients. You're invested in the fact that it might be a table number to one person, but it's not a table number to you.
Right.
Yep.
Or like if you're having a memory table and you're putting stuff out and like remembering grandma or labeling that photo or whatever, it's a moment. It's a meaningful thing. And you may not display all of these things for the rest of your life, but you'll see them in your photos and you'll find the box in your closet and you'll be like, I remember this.
Appreciate it. Right.
Now, Kia, how do you work with a designer like that? If you're being an event planner for...
I don't want to do that shit.
What?
I don't, just like, I literally don't.
That's what I kind of figured.
Yeah, it is. It does sound a little better. Plus, you don't have to like bleep out a bad word or whatever.
Right.
But no, for me, it's like the first thing when I have couples who come to me and they're like, "Ugh, like, will you do the invitations?" I was like, "Would you like them to look good?" Like, that's not my brain.
Right.
I can tell you when it needs to go out. I can tell you how to organize that part of it. I can tell you that it looks good. But I don't have time for
so
that.
That's not a facet of what you do. You would turn something like that over to a designer like Kaylee.
Every now and then we do get stuck into the thing where somebody will say to me like, "Oh my God, like we forgot our table numbers. What do you have?" But I go to my I go to my warehouse and I was like, "Which of these 7 of these will work for you? I can fix that issue."
Yeah.
And I do have a design part of it. I have a very spatial design. Like when I'm standing in a venue, I can look and say, "You can't put the DJ there. You have to put it this way. You have to do it this way." But I know that for some people, like in our family, color is like the most important thing in the entire world. Like literally the most important thing. Like we have dinners themed about it. If we go to a family thing, we will all call my mom saying like, "Are we allowed to wear blue? Are we supposed to be dressed this way? Like, what are we doing?" So I understand the color part of it even more because if I walk into a venue, I can instantaneously find the one napkin that came from a different bunch.
Yep.
Or like we've spoken to Lauren from Julie Allen Bridals. She says the one thing that people don't think about is if you're buying your bridesmaids dresses and they're coming from a different batch, they may be different because it's like we all have that one friend who's never going to order on time.
Yes.
Just order it with them, so it's done. But that's where my brain gets it. But this is stuff like that I don't want to do. I know that it looks cute. I know that it's great, but I also know it's a lot of work. And I think some people just think it's like I push a button on a machine and boom, it exists.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Think about the projects that you've done for yourself. About how many hours have they taken, not just in finding your own name for the company, but just just the PJs, just the PJs alone.
Yeah.
How long did that project in hours about take?
That's a great question. And that's the thing. You kind of have to think about designing before you even execute. So you're thinking about, okay, am I doing their initials? Am I doing their full name? Am I just doing, their name on the front or their initials on the front and then their title on the back? So bridesmaid, maid of honor, whatever it might be. So it's a lot of planning before you even go to execute. So, and each project does have its different level of difficulty and detail. Yeah, I mean, it could go anywhere from, I wouldn't say anything's under an hour. I would never say anything's under an hour. There's projects I've spent probably 15 to 20 hours on and they all just vary. But yeah. Crazy. And to your point too, like I think I get confused as a planner a lot of the time. I think people assume I'm going to help them pick vendors and do all that. And so I feel for you in the same way you feel for me. Like, I don't want to plan. I don't want anything to do with booking you vendors. I don't want anything to do with that, like, insanity side of it. But I'm here to kind of tie it all together. So
literally at a wedding venue yesterday, and they were like, "So how do we get, like, draping and lights up there?" And I was like, "You hire someone." If I did it, it would be duct taped and zip tied to the wall. It would be, like, drooping in the wrong place. It's not, I can see the vision, I get it, but it is not what I'm going to do. I am not good on a ladder. I'm 2 steps up, I'm done. Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so we really appreciate it. We hope that you come back.
Let's have our social media again.
Okay, go for social media again.
Absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, all at Meraki Co Styling. So it's at meraki.co.styling. And my website is www.meraki.co.styling.com.
Okay, Sam, are you supposed to thank anybody?
No, I'm not thanking anybody.
You're not thanking anybody?
I'm just thanking God I made it through this episode.
Oh, okay, good. So please remember that you can download us for free wherever you get your favorite podcast. If you have any questions or comments, please send us an email at engagect@gmail.com. We're also available on Anchor, the Spotify network, and now exclusively on the Wedding Talk channel on YouShook.com radio, YouTube, Mixcloud, loud, all that stuff.
So thanks to Kaylee for coming along. We appreciate it. And Kia, you're going to be back here next week?
No.
I'm going to hog tie you and put you in the van. You better be back next week.
He's got a windowless van. Help!
See ya. Bye.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast is sponsored by EasyEventPlanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. EasyEventPlanning.com. This podcast is produced and copyright by Atmosphere Productions in association with Engaged Connecticut.